Hi there, I'm John from CNCKing.com, and today we make a custom stainless steel stencil. So this custom stencil here was meant to be cut with our plasma initially. We would talk to the customer about doing it and everything was fine with it. And we ended up using the Waterjet instead. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One, if you look at it here, it's paper thin. And the nice thing about plasma cutting, it's really fast, especially on this kind of stuff here. The problem is the heat. The heat builds up in the material and the material tends to want to blow up on you and warp and move around on you. While with the Waterjet, it's a cold process, which means that there's no heat buildup, so the metal just stays there and it just gets abraded wherever it needs to be cut. Now the other detail that was causing issues with the plasma cutter, if we were to go that route with this project, were the very small details. Again, plasma is wonderful. Like if I had to cut this plate out, no problem, I can do it all day with the plasma cutter. But when it comes to very, very small details and intricate details and very tight tolerances, as you see here, plasma is not the best tool because of the heat. So let's take a look at the Waterjet cutting this out. Now you might be wondering, why are we cutting such thin metal for this specific stencil? And the stencil thickness is 22 gauge, so it's roughly the thickness of a piece of paper. Now the reason why we're doing it is because the customer at their end, they need to wrap this around a cylindrical piece of wood, so to speak. And for them to do that, they need a metal that could actually bend around. Most of the stencils we make are 2 to 3 times thicker than this. They don't need to be, they're just something more durable that stays flat. Generally for like barrel heads and stuff like that. So when we cut this out here, as you can see, the quality and the precision is the same whether we use a router, laser, plasma, whatever. They're all interchangeable regarding tolerances and production quality. Now for this one here, again, they got to wrap it by hand. If we use anything thicker than this, the problem would be that it'd be really challenging to do that if you don't have a rolling machine, which they don't have. And you can see actually when it's cutting through, you can see it bends a little bit upwards and downwards. We have a sheet of MDF underneath. So what the MDF does is protect it, because what you don't really see is all that water shooting down, cutting the metal, actually comes right back up underneath. And that's what's lifting up the wood and by default also lifting up the stencil just a little bit. It's more pronounced here just because I'm zoomed right in. But this stencil is roughly, I think 6 inches by 5 inches. So it's not a very big stencil to begin with. So all the movements are sort of exaggerated. When I first started CNCKing.com, I didn't want to be a laser shop. I didn't want to be a Waterjet shop. I didn't want to be any specific kind of shop. What I envisioned, and I still envision that, is that I want to be a custom fabrication shop. Now that can mean having a whole bunch of different CNCs, which I have. It could also mean having a lot of power tools, hand tools. So basically a whole variety of different tooling and capabilities to make custom projects. And this is a great example of that, because if you only have like one machine in the shop and you have to sort of throw all the jobs at that one machine, you're going to have quite a lot of jobs where they're not, the material or the design or whatever is not optimal to that process. And that's why having a variety of machines lets you choose the best platform for the best job for the best customer result. So if you're looking for custom stencils, any size, any shape, any material, contact me at CNCKing.com. We'll make it for you and ship it right to your door.